August 1944, during the Allied advance in the French conflict, General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the supreme Allied commander, faced a pivotal decision concerning Paris. When the Allies initially invaded France on June 6, 1944, they had no intention of engaging in a prolonged urban battle for the historic city. Such a conflict in Paris could jeopardize the preservation of its significant historical and cultural landmarks, slow down their advance toward Germany, and necessitate substantial resources for safeguarding and supporting the civilian population. By avoiding Paris and its garrison, the German soldiers within the city would be isolated, with limited options and no external support. From a military perspective, there was no tactical advantage in liberating Paris for the Allies. However, the French population held a different perspective. Despite the impending Wehrmacht defeat in France, the victory over Germany was seen as incomplete until the capital of France was liberated and the Vichy government replaced. This sense of imminent victory led to labor strikes, attacks on Wehrmacht patrols, and on August 14, a rebellion led by communist resistance fighters. Despite the escalating violence and casualties, Parisian police joined the rebellion the following day. General Charles de Gaulle, who arrived in Europe on August 20, warned that a determined German effort could quash the rebels. He also argued that the ongoing insurrection was bolstering the French communists. It was clear to Eisenhower that intervention was necessary, and on August 22, he issued orders to General Omar Bradley, commander of the 12th U.S. Army Group, to seize the city. Bradley entrusted Major General Leonard T. Garreau, the V Corps commander, with this mission. As promised by Eisenhower to de Gaulle, the city's liberation would be carried out by free French forces, specifically General Philippe Leclerc de Hontercloc's French 2nd Armored Division. Garreau assigned the task of securing the Seine River crossings south of Paris and serving as a reserve for Leclerc's forces to Major General Raymond O. Barton's 4th Infantry Division. Barton's division was already in a reserve status and receiving new personnel when the orders came on August 23. On that night, the division departed from its encampment at carriages amid a steady downpour, heading towards Paris. By the evening of August 24, Barton's troops had established an assembly area about 40 miles southwest of the city, ready to advance upon orders. Simultaneously, Leclerc's advance into Paris encountered difficulties. Disregarding Garreau's instructions to approach the city from the west, Leclerc opted for a southern attack. This choice outpaced his artillery support, and he ran into the most robust portion of the German defense, making little progress. French forces faced roadblocks and ambushes, resulting in 300 casualties, 35 destroyed tanks, and 117 other vehicles by the evening of August 24. Garreau complained to Bradley, who shared his frustration with Leclerc's actions, prompting him to order Barton to move past the French troops and enter the city from the southeast. Nevertheless, despite Leclerc's slow progress, the word quickly spread among the population that the French 2nd Armored Division had entered the city, bringing joy to the long-suffering Parisians. German resistance had been relatively limited and disorganized up to this point. General Dietrich von Choltitz, the commander of the German garrison, had a commendable combat record and a significant military background. However, he recognized that his small force of 20,000 stood no chance against 3 million French citizens, especially now that the Allied forces have reached the city. Like the Allies, Choltitz did not wish to witness the destruction of Paris. While reporting fictitious operations to his superiors, Choltitz could only hope for reinforcements that never arrived. On the morning of August 25, the liberation effort gained momentum. Leclerc resumed the attack, and by 10 o'clock am, the French 2nd Armored Division had penetrated the city, capturing strongholds and taking an increasing number of German prisoners. As French resistance fighters and police engaged in clashes with enemy barricades and captured fleeing Germans, French infantry assaulted Choltitz's headquarters in the early afternoon, taking him prisoner. His captors brought Choltitz to Leclerc at 3 o'clock p.m., where they signed a formal surrender document. Finally, after 4 long years of German occupation, Paris was liberated.